Unit 57. Different Cultures. This unit is about different cultures and getting accustomed to new things. We meet Joan Tull, who is going to live and work in a country very different from her own, and also look at ways of talking about actions in the future. Exercise 2. Listen and read. These are some ways of talking about becoming accustomed to new things.
I'm getting used to working until late at night.
I'm used to working until late at night.
I can't get used to working until late at night.
I'll never get used to working until late at night.
I'm getting used to going to bed late.
I'm used to going to bed late.
I can't get used to going to bed late.
I'll never get used to going to bed late.
Exercise 3. Listen and tick. There are some things in Britain which Kevin will never get used to.
I came to Britain a year ago. A lot of things are different here. British food is different, but I'm used to it now. And here in Britain, they drive on the left. I'm getting used to that. But the weather. The sun doesn't shine much in Britain. I still can't get used to the weather.
Exercise 4. Listen and read. What will you be doing this time tomorrow?
This time tomorrow, we'll be lying on the beach.
I shall be watching TV at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening.
I hope I'll be living in the south of France in 10 years' time.
I don't know what I'll be doing 5 years from now.
Exercise 5. Listen and check. 2 adventurous moles want to escape the British winter.
Winter's coming.
Yes,
It'll be cold.
I know. I hate being cold. I'll never get used to winter.
I've got an idea. Why don't we go to Australia?
Australia? Where's Australia?
Down there.
How far is it?
It's not far. Come on.
Okay.
Just think. This time tomorrow we'll be sitting in the sun. We'll be lying on the beach.
Exercise 6. Listen and number. What will 6 different people be doing this time tomorrow?
I'll be at home watching television.
I will hopefully be having lunch.
At this time tomorrow, I will be sitting down in my office.
I shall be having a meeting with colleagues.
I'll be on a train to Leeds.
I'll be sleeping.
Exercise 7. Right or wrong? Then we ask some others what they would be doing in 10 years' time.
In 10 years' time, I hope I'll be living somewhere else in Europe.
I will be working somewhere.
In 10 years' time, I may be thinking about retiring.
Hopefully, in 10 years, I will be picking up a couple of kids from kindergarten or something.
I really don't know what I'll be doing in 10 years' time at all.
If my plans go correctly, I shall have retired from being a headmistress and I shall be teaching my subject again to students who want to learn it.
Exercise 8. Listen and check. Listen to Kevin talking about his future.
This time tomorrow, I'll be working here. But this time next year, I'll be back in the United States, in California. I'll be living in California. I'll be driving on the right. And I'll be eating American food. It'll be good, but I'll miss some things about England.
Exercise 9. Listen and answer. Joan Tull is going to work abroad in Zimbabwe as a volunteer teacher. She tells us what her plans are.
I'll be going to Zimbabwe to quite a large village school, and I'll be teaching English to 16-year-olds up to O-level, and I think I'll be a form teacher to 12 and 13-year-olds. I'll be staying for 2 years minimum, and there's a possibility of having that extended to 3 or 4 years. I'll be staying near the school, which is called Kawandera, in quite a small village. It's amid sort of farmers generally. It's quite near to a sort of small town, but it's quite rural itself. And I'll be staying in a teacher's house, living with 2 or 3 other Zimbabwean teachers.
Exercise 10. Listen and read. Joan talks about the things she will have to get used to.
I'll have to get used to a whole series, a whole raft of different working conditions. I'm used to working in quite a high-tech sort of industry that's got lots of machinery and everything, and I'm going to be going to a place that has no machinery apart from a typewriter, has no electricity at all, no photocopiers, all the things that you take for granted, they just won't be there anymore. So I'm going to have to get used to that sort of thing, really. I'll have to get used to not having the variety of different foods that you have here, like 20 different varieties of breakfast cereal and all the food that you could possibly want and can think of, you can have here, and the range of food there is much smaller. I'll have to get used to getting water from a borehole, not having electricity, which means gas lamps in the evening, which means the difficulty of preparing for the next day's lessons in poor light, different ways of getting your clothes washed, how you make your own entertainment in the evenings, because I'm used to coming home and watching television and, you know, phoning your friends and listening to music and that sort of thing. And there'll be sort of quite big differences like that I'll have to get used to.
Exercise 12. Listen and tick. What will Joan miss when she goes to Zimbabwe? Look at the list in your book.
I'll miss shopping for clothes in my favourite clothes stores, and I'll miss seeing my friends after work and going to the cinema and going to a club, going to parties, an endless list of things that I can think of that I do without thinking about it, really, that I'm going to miss.
Exercise 13. Listen and complete the sentences. Life in the culture where she is going will be very different to the one she grew up in. What problems will she face?
I think there'll be quite a lot of cultural differences, and those are going to be the most difficult things to get used to, because physical things I think you can adapt to really quickly. I think a different way of looking at the role of women in society is going to be quite difficult, because I'm used to saying exactly what I think about everything, and I'm just going to have to learn to keep quiet about things. But the problem with that is that I can see why you have to do that, but then if quite a big part of yourself is to kind of not like injustices or whatever it is and to say what you think, then how much is it you're kind of changing yourself as a person and as a personality? And maybe I'll get there and I'll find that, you know, it simply is not a problem at all.
Exercise 15. Listen and find out. Now Joan explains why she wants to be a volunteer teacher.
I always wanted to do something that was about helping people and feeling that what you did was important to people and that it mattered. So that's the basic reason why I'll be going to do VSO, I think. I'm quite looking forward to going to a completely different environment that's different on all sorts of levels, in terms of the culture, in terms of the standard of living. I'll be quite interested to just find out how a whole different set of people live. I'm looking forward to not being in England because I'm tired of it. I'm looking forward to hot, sunny weather. I'll be quite interested to see how I fit into the new job. Just a whole new life, really, just suddenly kind of will open up.